Hi everyone. So yay for making it to the last video. So for this week, our last assignment, we were just to talk about what we learned this semester and if we feel like we've benefited from this class, which I definitely think I have. I've always been very nervous and I've always had a very high level of anxiety when it comes to public speaking. And I feel like this class has definitely helped me tremendously. The beginning, I just, every time I would think about public speaking, I'd get very shaky, avoid eye contact, and fidget a lot. And this class definitely has helped that. I think half my battle with it was having organization and knowing my audience. I think my thoughts would get jumbled up in my head, and that was half the reason why I was so nervous, is because my thoughts would get confused and I would just, um, just let the words fall out of my mouth rather than having like an actual train of thought. Um, so after taking this class, it definitely has helped me organize my thoughts and then verbalize them so that other people can understand them better and I'm less anxious about it. And I also think that this class has given me or I have increased my ability to develop an increased consciousness of audience, situation, and context. This class has taught me how to adjust myself, and I'm able to code switch in between situations. So for instance, before this class, I'd go to work and I'd talk the same way that I would to a younger coworker, and then in that same way, I would talk to an older coworker. And just with the age difference, I feel like my communication I would have a hindrance on my communication because I wouldn't necessarily code switch between the two, and either the older coworker would get offended or the younger coworker would be like, well, why are you talking to me like that? So um, being aware of how I'm speaking, and after reading all those articles and watching, classmates' videos and learning about code switching, um, and just being aware of what your audience is, and reading people, I think that's definitely a huge help and huge asset to my communications, or my communication skills. Definitely just being aware of my audience, I think, is huge. Um, and then also, I think um, the other thing is listening actively with care and attention. I've always felt that I have had a very strong ability to listen to other people and hear them out and listen with care, but I think I was just, as I said before, I wasn't really aware of what active listening is. And so after taking this class and definitely watching all those videos, I've definitely learned a lot on what active listening is, and that you can not just, just listening to someone, but actually hearing what they're saying. So I've definitely understand the difference between listening and actually hearing someone out. Um, and I feel that now after this class, I definitely make eye contact more, ask questions just so the speaker knows that I'm actually engaged, and I care about what they're saying and I'm taking it in and I actually hear the words that they're saying to me and I'm comprehending them and processing what they're saying. And then also, I think, that's obviously going to help me in the future too. But I think the last unit has definitely affected me the most, on, putting yourself in other people's shoes, especially the quote that Dan Norris said that you truly don't know what it's like to be someone other than yourself. I think that was a huge, huge thing, a huge point. And I think that's very, very useful for me, especially in healthcare, because I feel like just the biggest takeaway is understanding the fact and expressing that you don't know what it's like for that other person, but you can try and understand what it's like to be them to the best of your ability. So I feel like, especially in healthcare, that is a huge barrier between provider and patient, because patient gets really frustrated because they're like, oh, I understand what you're going through, but X, Y, and Z. And the patient can get very frustrated because they're like, well, you don't know because you're not in my shoes. And I think if you reiterate that to them, saying, I understand that I'm not in your shoes, so I don't know, but I'm trying to empathize with you as much as possible. So I think as long as you express that, then that's huge, and that opens up the gateway between you and the patient. So I think that's something that is a huge asset for me in the future and definitely helps my communication skills. Um, but also, I think just having the weekly discussions and, um, watching other classmates' videos, reading their responses on my video, and making comments on my classmates' videos. I think the whole engaging aspect definitely helps me with communication and, um, taking constructive criticism too. Just if anyone says anything about the video, um, I just feel like this online course, I was very skeptical at first because communication is such like an in-person thing, but I think the online course kind of also eliminates the anxiety a little bit, but you still have this person-to-person interaction, um, and obviously you still get to see each other's faces because of the videos. And I just think this overall was a very, very useful course, and it was great. Definitely enjoyed working with you all, and I think this class is very beneficial and has definitely helped my communication skills on many levels. So I hope I reiterated that properly to everyone. But I hope you all have a great semester, and thanks so much for watching, and thank you all for teaching me so much. Have a great year.